my channel. My name is Crystal if you're new. So today's video is going to be dedicated to new grad nurses or nurses who are in their last 3 to 6 months of nursing school. I'm going to offer you some tips and some guidance to help you navigate your new career in this nursing industry. Let's get started. So number one, when you're in your last 3 to 6 months of nursing school, you should be doing two things. You should really be narrowing down and focusing on what type of nurse do I want to be. That's number one. Number two, you need to start applying for residencies in that area. It is never, and I repeat, it is never too early to start applying for internships and residencies when you're in nursing school. When you see an opening and that application opens up, go ahead and apply. You know, there is nursing shortages, but just like there's shortages, there is an array of graduate nurses and the roles fill fast. They really, really do. And if you're one of those people that want to go into these specialties like ER, ICU, those are even harder to get into. So you definitely want to make sure that you are applying early. Flood those applications out there. I cannot stress that enough. A lot of people have the misconception that, oh, there's nursing shortages, so I won't have an issue finding a job. And that is true for a nurse that has experience. But as a new grad nurse, you are entering into a whole new way of life, per se. You do not have the experience yet. And it is going to be hard to get into a residency, especially if you don't have a healthcare background. So the sooner that you can apply and plug yourself, per se, go ahead and do that, okay? You definitely need to apply early. The next thing is make sure you always have a plan B. Let's just say, okay, I want to be a pediatric nurse and I want to work with babies. And you've applied for multiple internships and residencies and you're not getting any type of hits on that. Go ahead and apply for something else. It is okay. You might not go into the specialty that you want from go, but you need to get in the door. That is the key. Get in the door. So if you know your second option would be, oh, I want to do mother baby, or I want to do tele, that would be my second option. Go ahead and apply for internships or residencies in those areas. You might not get the first thing that you want to do. Again, I repeat, but you want to get your foot in the door. Fresh out of nursing school, the goal is to get the experience. Once you have the experience, the world is yours, per se. Okay? The next tip that I want to let you know is you might not get the shift that you want right out of the gate. So day shift, everyone pretty much wants a day shift. Let's be honest. You do have those people that's like, oh no, I'm a nighttime person. But mostly the most demanded shift is day. By day shift being in such high demand, it is possible that you will start your nursing career working a night shift. That is okay. Let me tell you a little bit about how I started out. So I started out working in a hospital as a patient care tech. I had a little leg up because, I was already plugged, per se, in the hospital. So I applied for internships, several of them within the hospital that I worked. Didn't get any feedback at first. Finally, I got selected to work on the internal medicine floor. However, it was for night shift. At first, I was like, oh, not night shift. But honestly, to me, it was the best thing that could have happened. Look at it this way. You're a new nurse. You're entering into a whole new array of things. You're entering into a new world. It is very fast paced. Night shift is a little slower tempo. So if you're one of those people that might need a little extra time to figure things out, you like to really take your time and process, night shift would not be a bad shift for you to start, okay? With that being said, if you do start on night shift, there will be days where you work day shift in your internship because they have to show you the main ropes, per se. Like your shift will be night, but you still will be training on some days. So you'll get the core things that you need. I just want you to know you might not get your ideal shift. So just putting that out there. But again, the key is to get the experience. The next tip I have for you is to ask questions. Never be afraid to ask questions. You've heard that saying, there's never a such thing as a dumb question. Well, there really isn't. Because if it's a question in your mind, then it's valid. Ask the question. You will not learn if you do not ask questions. And again, you are stepping into a whole new territory. Never be afraid to ask questions. My next tip is, do not take things personal. You might get to work one day and you're precepting with someone and they're not very welcoming. Try not to take it personal. You will see later down the line that not every day is peaches and cream, and that's just the reality of it. Okay, you're going to have some bad days. The people precepting you are going to have some bad days. But the main thing is to just have open communication and keep an open mind. Okay? The next tip I have for you is to find your own routine. You're going to realize early on that Nancy might do things one way, Jim might do things another way, Michelle might do it that way, and Sarah might do it a whole nother way. But you have to find your own routine. Everyone is going to have a different way of doing a med pass. Everyone is going to have a different way of taking report. You have to find your own routine because that is what's going to keep you organized. That's what's going to keep you with your sanity, okay? Find your own routine and find what works for you. Yes, early on, you are going to be with someone and they're going to show you A, B, C, and D. And yes, you should follow those steps. But within those steps, you have to realize and figure out, oh, this is going to work for me better this way. So that way, when you're on your own, you have a set way of doing it and you're not going to fail. You're going to feel comfortable. You're not going to be overthinking things. You're going to have your own flow. Okay. So find your own routine and your own ways of doing things within the policies, of course, and the scope of practice. But I'm just saying, everyone has a different way of doing things. So you're definitely going to find that and you're going to see that. Okay. My next tip is to get as many certifications and trainings as you can. You're working at the hospital now. You're going through your preceptorship. Get as much knowledge and training as you possibly can. It makes you a force out here. Seriously. When I started out, I got my peritoneal dialysis certification. I got my CLAPSY nurse certification for central lines, all within the first 2 years. So it is very possible. Do as much as you can, gain as much knowledge as you can. That is key. It's going to make you a force out here again. So these are my tips for you. I will have more tips coming soon. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching.